Good evening, folks. Yes, this is your host, and I'm going to show you how to draw Cade. And we're going to start off with a simple line drawing, and I'm going to use markers. I suggest you kind of draw that. I'm doing her hair at this moment, it's pretty simple. To let you know on a little secret, um, all of my markers, the little tags that were on the ends, they kind of wore off about what it said. So I have no idea what colors I was going to use. Yeah. And right now I am doing her eyes, like the eyeballs, and outlining, you know, also her nose and stuff. And we'll do like the under part of her nose and her nostrils and the very tip of her nose, and just to get is an outline of her and including her, her lips partially done, because I'm going to be using multiple colors. It's not that hard, but it's also not that easy. Just to let you know, anyone can do this. Just take a lot of practice and, well, just draw. Take your time. Don't rush it. And I was actually drawing this all from memory, believe it or not. Yeah. And right here is just some of the basic outlines of her hair, her ears, and also her face, and her neck, and shoulders. Yeah. Getting in some of the shadowing, from underneath her jawline and on her neck and stuff. Yes. See how very simple it is? Yeah. I'm not going into high realism, and here's my second color that I'm going to be using. I was trying to use different shades of grays. I think the first one was kind of like a blue gray to a green gray. Yeah. And that one was a lighter color, didn't work, so I was a darker color to now kind of go with darkening a little bit more. And yes, I'm going over, you're going to see me going over a lot of this over and over again. Now I am, if you didn't realize it, I'm doing her underlip and also highlighting of part of her upper lip. And darkening the shadows around her head and her neck, and doing the eyes, defining them a little bit more so they become more lively, as it were. Trying to get like her hair and also her eyebrows. Her head is at a tilt. I know it looks kind of weird from this position, but and I just did all this all in one take. Believe it or not, folks, this is the first time I'm actually watching this. So, wow. And yeah, I'm just darkening the straps that were on her clothes. So most of these colors are going to be different shades of grays, and like blue grays, cool grays, warm grays, and green grays and stuff like that. Most of it was like kind of different shades of blue than anything else. I keep on going over the head and defining the shadows. and also defining of her hair and stuff. It's a little more different when you're drawing with markers. And I decided, you know what I'm going to do is add some, like, hair for the back of her head, like, peeking from behind and stuff. The lower part of her head. And kind of defining her face a little bit more. And getting the little shadowing and stuff like that. Originally, I wanted to do all this in different shades of grays and black and whites and stuff like that. But a lot of my markers seem not to really work too well of the grays and stuff. So I'm doing the best I can with what I got, and I have a big old pack of colored markers. Right now I decided, you know what? Let's go with some flesh tones. I started off with a lighter color flesh tone because she is a light-skinned person, if you don't know who Lily Cade is. But yeah, I'm just getting like the highlights around. I'm not gonna do like a whole flat mass, of one particular color. And I'm gonna do is a layering effect. So I just do it in different shades and just kind of layer over and add different sets of color for her, in different tones of, and I'm defining her nose a little bit better, and with a different flesh tone color. I have a whole mess of different flesh tones of markers. So yeah, and I wanted to do is bring out her cheeks, but I remember this picture that it was like pretty washed out, like because it was a flash on it, so her cheeks aren't like super bright. But yeah, but I didn't want her look, like super flat, not really defined. And I'm gonna pick another color, and I'm gonna go over certain other areas and define more sections of her face, like with this one. Still with another flesh tone and defining like the roundness of her cheeks and stuff like that. So she looks more lively, more three-dimensional with the limited colors I did and use, and also trying to. And right now, this one is more kind of a pinkish color, to brighten her up of some of the spots. So it's not going to be everywhere, but I'm just doing is highlighting certain areas of her face, including her parts of her lip, of her lower and upper lips. So it should look a little bit better, but it gets there, little by little. And then more flesh tone markers to define her face, and also the dark areas and the bright areas of her face. Bring out more of the tones, including of her neck, and just going back and forth with the different tones and stuff. And then this one, I'm doing more of pinkish, pinkish red colors, and going, this one's more of a reddish, pinkish sort of, but to defining more of her lip, and that's basically what I'm doing. Of her upper and lower lip, I'm trying to define it, to bring in a bit of color into it, but not to completely color it all as a flat mask, because I want layers of different shades of pinks and reds and highlights of, so it looks a lot better than what it is right now. But yeah, and I'll go in a little bit more. Da 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 da. Yep, here I go with more of an overtone of like a pinkish color, and this will be like the lighter part, and then I'm gonna switch also to darker, so I'm just brightening up some spots on her face, so I thought, like, oh, that looks a little too pink around her face, but it did work a little, but yeah. And here I'm actually going on to the shading of her hair, and adding more defining colors and stuff. This is more of an orangish color, but she is a redhead, so I'm defining that. So yeah, so I get the correct tones and stuff of her hair, of oranges and reds, and yeah, do her eyebrows and whatnot. And then, yep, a little more of the defining. This is more of just an overall color. Luckily, I picked was, I think this one is the vermilion. It works really well for her tone of her hair. So, yeah, I know it doesn't look super fantastic on the screen, but if you saw the picture in person, it looks a lot better. Do, 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 do. And now, do a little more highlights. And what I got? Come on, here it comes. My white pen, yes. Use this to do some touch-ups. Anything that you have mistakes, you can correct it. But I also do is use it for highlights and to adding white spots on the eye, so to give it more life and to define the eyes a little bit more. And I also color in the whites of the eyes with this, because it actually pops out more, And I'm gonna do is a little highlighting around the face, the mouth, the lips and stuff. But I'm gonna do is this smudging technique where I put it on where it's wet, and then I kind of smear it so it blends in with the other colors, so it ends up being like a highlight instead of just this bright white spots or white line. It blends a little more easier, so you get more of a softer look, as it were. And I continue this on with parts of her face, including her lips and stuff, and I will even do this on other parts of her neck, and just little corrections and brightening up her face a little bit, boop boop, and yeah. I do it really quick and not even really thinking about what I'm doing, because this is like second nature to me. I know I didn't actually draw like her teeth or anything. I I just was thinking, you know what? Let's just draw her as fast as possible. And here is like some of the basic highlights, of her hair. I do is blend it in so it doesn't seem so stark with the white, to give some highlights and lighting area, so it gives it more of a natural look, a little more, It's not going to be like super highly detailed, but you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing. This is actually not that bad of a drawing. I'll be done soon. There we go. And whitening a little here on the cheeks, brightening them up, and to get those little white spots. And wow. Oops. Yeah, the wind is picking up. Always cap your pins, because damn wind. See, there you go. And that's how it is. So, till next time, bye!